So before we begin, I want to talk about Primitive, which is a literary and arts journal that these fine fellows right here run. Also, Tracy and Matt's stories and book are available for purchase where, perchance?
In the kitchen!
In the kitchen, where there's also free beer and cake, which if you haven't gotten any, you probably should. Mostly cake too. What else is there that I'm missing as always?
If you want to buy like a crispy treat with marijuana in it.
You can do that too, yeah. Let's not exclude that. Other than that, I don't think I'm missing anything.
Just the names?
The process. Oh yes. These fine, hard-working poets got here at 1 o'clock today just for you, and they've been drinking since then, writing poetry. So let's give a round of applause for all that hard work. Now, without further ado, shall we have our first reader?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
See us from that read.
I'm gonna remain seated because I'm really drunk and I really don't care if I stand.
Yeah.
I would say I'm shitfaced.
Yeah.
So we started out the day by grabbing lunch and then we started drinking and started to like talk about, hey, let's have like an exercise or something, you know. And so we asked Ashley over here,
Lives
with the fine hat. We were like, hey, tell us the title that we're all gonna write the title of our first poem after. And she was walking out the door and she said popcorn. So we said, all right, fine. So we all wrote poems with the title Popcorn. So all of us have a piece titled Popcorn. This is mine. Popcorn, the smell of which, for Jason, is a slingshot to preteen movie theater seats with his mother's new existential blanket, by law his stepfather. The big screen Versailles, the castle which held the promise, however fleeting, of a better future, and a lobby which held the Indiana Jones pedestal, holding up the food court buttered olive branch extended between the two of them to hopefully, at least this time, mend the salted fields of Jason's neck and wash the guilt from his stepfather's hands. Joseph, the stepfather, never wanted to be this man. Never wanted to be a man making feeble attempts at vindication with the word made flesh of his lover's previous commitment. When he first felt the weight of what it is to be a human being after watching his own mother tend to her bruises in the mid-morning twilight, shining through their kitchen window while he tried to continue to eat his breakfast. As if unfazed, he vowed to never make another person cry. But now, after watching a lifetime of watching droplets fall to the collars of blouses, he sat, reaching into his stepson's cup holder for a handful of popcorn. So that was really fucking bleak. That's what I thought of popcorn. Also, I'm really drunk, so I couldn't read my own handwriting. And that's the nature of our event. You know, it's good. Cheers to everybody. We're also, each of us supposed to come with a drinking game for our readings, and I'm really drunk, and I don't feel like doing that, so we're going to play my favorite drinking game. It's called a drink. And so all of us, just like fucking adults, just drink our drinks. We don't need a game to do so. We just continue to drink. So let's all drink.
That's a cop-out.
Cheers!
No, that's not a cop-out. It's a gentleman's sport. So I mean, please do not cease to sip. Whatever. Open more beers. Keep drinking. This next piece is another one that we all sat down and wrote off to the same title. We all each said a word at like the bequest of Tracy. And we typed it into Google, and whatever it said was what we wrote about. And it said Twilight Zone 59. Sorry, Twilight Zone 1959. You know, colloquially 59. So I wrote this one. Sometimes when you think of forever, you don't remember to remember what all that entails. The ambivalence of thought is something you always should, yet don't want to be aware of. Complacency is a dish best served hotter than you can handle. You don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be picked up by the ambivalence ambulance and carted to the spawning point of your motivations. There is always someone who can do the things you cannot. Society depends on the preceding statement. And you will always be in this liminal space. the twilight zone between who you are and who you want to be for those who want you to be a way in which they want you to be. Thank you. And then the last one.
Wait. Can I get a drink real quick?
We're still playing drink. We're still playing drink. So
as long as Kalen is getting his drink, all of y'all have to chug your beers.
Yeah, we're still playing drink. Like
get another one if you must.
Every time you say drink, you have to drink.
Yeah, we're still playing drink. So, we should all be drinking. So what are you doing?
Honestly, we have to get rid of both those kegs by
I need another drink. Anyone needs another drink, they better come and get one.
Drink!
Why are you drinking that drink?
Full drink.
You're drinking your drink, good job. Wait, why are you drinking your drink?
Honestly, y'all are the sorriest drunks I've ever seen.
Drink.
God, start drinking.
Drink your drink.
I'm talking to Steve.
Drink your drink.
Drink your drink.
Like a drink. Have you all had drinks? Drink. Has everyone had drinks?
Come in here, have your drink.
Has everyone had drinks? Okay. Reading resumed. Okay. So for a third piece, we decided to write about whatever we had come to the reading wanting to write about. So I wrote this one for you. People expect things of you, so I wrote this.
Okay, I'm the second person whose name got drawn, and we're starting with my drinking game. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just say like when you take a toast to something. In this instance, if you look at your cup as the total, you want to take like maybe I don't know like a 10th, 12th, 14th of a sip, but like quickly and with vigor for each thing that I mentioned, because they're all very important. This is a list we compiled. It's things that should be cheersed and drunk to. So let's all raise our glasses. You're going to repeat after me. I'm going to say, here's to blah, blah, blah. And you're going to say, here's a blah, blah, blah. And we're going to drink. Are you ready?
Here's the blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Ready? Okay. Here's to the Queen's vagina. And we drink. Here's to victims of Hurricane Rita. Here's to nailed shut cat doors. Here's to Jesus' stepdad, otherwise known as Joseph. Here's to Satan's unconditional love. Jesus' foreskin. Every fat handicapped fuck that gets to cut in line at Disneyland. Here's to Harry Potter's virginity. Here is to the wind beneath my wings. Here. Here's to Bette Midler's areolas. Here's to the last American virgin. Here.
I'm never not a
God, we're close, guys. Here's to Chris's bitterness. Here. Here's to the acknowledgement of the situation. Here. Here's to drinking. Here's to cousins getting engaged, because sometimes it happens.
Such is life.
Here's to understatements. Here's to weird managers. Here's to Kaylin's sadness. Here's to underachievement to a dog named Rebel, whose real name isn't Rebel. Here's to panic. And here is to keg taps. Thanks, guys. The first poem I'm going to read is called Popcorn. I think. Here. Somewhere. Okay. Popcorn. Aerial burial is what my dad would call it later when asked about what really happened to my overweight guinea pig after the run-in with Fat Sam the cat. She had a real chewed-up tail, the cat, from falling asleep, curled up in the metal warmth of the pickup engine. I guess a lot of my pets struggled with their weight. If you run fast enough through it, the stalks cut into you. Leafy little slices, face flesh, the skin on your legs, arms, tiny little red lunch meat, I'd say, slices like lunch meat, tearing through the cornfields, best when I'd close them. Let leaf edges like a blade, paper cut the eyelids, let the sun leak in, a prism perhaps, projected on the thinness there inside, while bare feet pound the earth, blood dancing on the space behind the ears. My dad told me later how he'd flung his carcass out into the field, said he'd hope the corn tastes sweet. We don't do funerals for rodents. When harvest came, my mom sawed off pieces from the cob so I could eat yellow corn with my braces. Then we had a poem about the United States of America. This is my poem called America. What stands on the printing of our grocery receipts? What scrawled on backs in a back pocket to do can lift us from the bike pedal round and round of calf muscles made full by churning at deadlines? What do we save by attaching plastic with a metal ring to the keys that make us run, that send us home? A barcode handed the promise of tomorrow, a 20-cent saving on something I don't need. I can't need all that is selling to me on a billboard and television shrine. What is there to talk to my sister about, if not Costco savings and a Pier 1 elephant tea set that she tries very hard not to covet? Last one was about whatever we wanted. I was very drunk and everything was very sad. And this is what I wrote. Everyone was hiding in the shed and things were weird. Things got weird, you guys. So we all got carted over here by two of the most beautiful females you could ever imagine. But things were bleak for a while, so thank God we had them. I wrote this, it's like terrorizing to look at. It's so I'm just gonna read exactly what it says. It looks it's awful. I would burp yop. The end of poetry nigget. I would burp up more if I was able. I'm draft beer acid. I'm gagging at toilet bulbs. Is that what you want, frog? Of me? So it's one of these two humans. I don't know which. I'm sorry. Here they go.
Wait, you were going through all that after the shed?
Yes, it was awful. The shed was a terrible place for us.
I really like the shed.
No, the shed made me feel bad.
The shed was a very dark time for everyone.
Really grounded me and brought me to here.
It brought you up to here. It brought everyone else to a terrible place.
All right.
These people are gonna sit down with this.
So fucking tall. I hate this. So I'm the next reader. My name is Christopher, and honestly, like, this is one of my favorite days ever because I've had the privilege of riding with 5 of the best riders in Houston of our age group. I feel possible. But Houston.
Where do we live?
He's from Dallas, so you can hate the fuck out of him if you want. But no, honestly, like, today has been one of the best days of my life. And it's because I got to write along 5 of my favorite poets in the fucking world. So this is my first poem that I chose to read tonight. And I'm I'm fucking drunk, so if I misspell or misread something...
We won't know how you spell it.
Yeah, I don't know if you know how this works.
That's how drunk he is.
Well, now you all get the idea, so you can hang along with me. Alright. Walking home, we would avoid the grass because that is where the roaches resided. Sometimes they would be in the trees. I would stare at the back of her head, revert my eyes to her torso, and watch with short breaths her rib cage expand, compress. I'd sit at the edge of the bed, light a cigarette, and allow the window unit to cool my back until I was cold enough to slip under the covers. This is my Twilight Zone 1959. I am not a writer. I am a conduit of self-deprecation. Alright, now this is not a poem, it's a story, and it's pretty fucked up. They know what the fuck I'm talking about. Jonathan is a fool. Most at one time thought of him as a casual, well-mannered citizen of the United States of Texas. But now, most consider him a fool. Most including myself, and I am just a low-rate, uneducated, profoundly uninteresting writer on his way to a shittier sense of living. But besides that, Jonathan is a fool. Let us, me, explain. Jonathan fell in love. Falling in love is an action frowned upon. It is a manner in which he did not. His jaw dropped, his palms greased with sweat, the hairs on his neck stood erect. He thought her name Rebecca. He softly spoke towards her, and believed to have swooned her with such a delicate, fabricated sense of romancing. They met at the local farmer's market. Several days after picking up Rebecca, Jonathan noticed a smell. He refused to believe Rebecca was rotting from the inside. Jonathan remained from making love to Rebecca, assuming that the copious amount of thrusting had been hurting her. Oh, Jonathan was a fool. Jonathan felt weak, laying on the couch, eating homemade popcorn, watching Hitler documentaries on Netflix, as Rebecca stays on the kitchen table. He sucked on his salty, buttery fingers and sipped on Jack and Coke. As the night went on, he grew weaker. His stomach boiled with sickness. Jonathan looked over at Rebecca and thought her expression smug. "She's making me weak," he whispered. "She's draining my life." God damn it, was Jonathan a fool. Drunkenly, he stood from the couch, spilling a bowl of popcorn onto his red shag carpet. Jonathan grabbed Rebecca, threw her against the wall, right in the middle of Hitler's speech. Rebecca's green, squishy innards dribbled onto the floor. Jonathan came to. Only then did he realize that Rebecca was a cucumber. That he selected from the farmer's market. Oh, was Jonathan such a fool.
Jonathan, we love you. Cheers to Jonathan. Jonathan, you stupid fool. We love you.
I didn't come very good.
Rebecca. How did you come to us?
No, I didn't come.
Alright, so my drinking game is everyone stand the fuck up.
Oh, what?
I know, it sucks, right?
Oh, man.
I have old pain.
Does everyone have booze?
Yeah.
Alright. Now, everyone shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I want everyone to kiss someone they've never kissed before. And if you don't, you have to go to cheek.
Just kiss me on the cheek. Come on, James.
James, kiss anybody.
Alright guys, we're gonna resume after that brief pause.
So I hope you all enjoyed kissing someone you never kissed before. Even though I know half y'all didn't fucking do it.
I did it.
Who'd you kiss?
Stupid.
Who'd you kiss?
No.
Kiss that guy?
I kissed his head. I don't know him, so.
No, y'all gonna make out like full on now.
That wasn't in
You're getting carried away.
Okay, I'm getting carried away. Just so y'all know, I kissed that guy.
Okay.
The lucky duck.
It's Tracy and this guy.
Yes.
I thought I kissed you too, but I don't remember.
We didn't even kiss. Let's do it. You got $5 for kissing.
I got.
It's terrible.
I'll finger bang you for your whole life.
I got.
We don't even have to be
Not in the Facebook.
That's a good trade.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Solid trade.
It's Chris.
Fair deal. I dare you.
I've got one more poem, but I just want to thank y'all for coming out tonight and really supporting the magazine.
Donate to Primitive.
You should donate to Primitive Magazine because it's a literary magazine and it's one of the only voices that I know of besides Glass Mountain for the,
And Althea.
and Althea,
Yes.
And,
for the state of Houston.
And whatever mom.
Whatever mom.
Where can I find
a Primitive issue?
We also have a different publication company called Whatever Mom that will publish whatever the fuck you have.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed kissing someone you've never kissed before. This is my last poem. I hope you kissed someone that was just like very degrading.
So which one?
This one's all about.
Both parties involved.
Yeah, degrading for all.
I don't know, man. Like
Even-
what's
even for
degrading
an
for one
observer.
person is hot for another. So
Yeah.
So like,
It's your
internet
fault,
worthy
man.
observers.
God damn it.
Just read the poem.
all right, so I'm gonna read my last poem and then the next poem's gonna go up, which I believe is this guy, who I fucking love with all my heart. Which guy?
Glasses.
I still love him with all my heart.
Yeah, we love him. Yeah.
All right, so this is my last poem. I think I'll call it a night. Good night, America. Good night, Mom, Dad, friends. I've thrown up too much to continue. I've drunk too much. Fuck Charles Bukowski, says Kalen's Rowe. And I agree. Fuck Charles Bukowski.
Yeah!
Fuck Charles Bukowski.
Fuck Charles Bukowski.
Fuck that guy.
Kiss Charles Bukowski.
And I agree. Fuck Charles Bukowski. I hope everyone I love is enjoying this happy evening. I hope all of you can go to bed tonight thinking that the muzzle of a gun isn't too sweet. I love you all, and I think I'm going to call it a night. America.
Stan. That was fun. Guys.
Stanley.
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 Hold on, guys. So I showed up late to the whole thing, and like the whole group was writing on like, you know, certain themes, and I found myself, since I showed up like 3 hours late.
Yeah, you wiener.
I was just writing about popcorn, and then so that's like the only poem I have that I wrote there. But I'm gonna see if I can read some other ones too. while we were at it. But the popcorn one was nice. It kind of like popped open. Oh yeah, you better, if you like those puns.
You better prepare yourself.
Wait.
So this one's called popcorn. A kernel of truth, baby. Post-explosion, inside on out, everything makes its way from the inside to the outside. Pop, pop. The corn pops like cop porn. Out the barrel. Pull the hammer, trigger, popcorn, pop culture, cross the border. Every day's getting shorter than my attention span, baby. Let me make you make me a man. And we gotta get fucked to give a fuck. Pop a cherry, pop my culture, pop, pop, cop porn. Break out the cop porn every day. I'm getting off to sheep's getting shorn. Everybody's stroking to the N-word. Everybody's strung out on adrenaline, Jesus. Summer breezes makes me feel fine, baby. Home is where the heart drops like anchor. Hands up, don't fight, don't indict. College words like trite. Everybody on the couch saying bourgeois. Critic's chair, computer chair. No worries, cause there's no remedy for the shorned. So we grab our popcorn. Baby. I need a phone with really good internet. Does anybody have a phone I can use that has like amazing internet right now?
Yeah, we have Wi-Fi. We need the best phone in the house.
Got it. Pop it up.
This is also a Burundi challenge.
Yeah. How well are you endowed?
Oh, we're supposed to come up with a drinking game too.
Yeah,
and I couldn't think of one.
Me neither.
My game was like, the only one that I kind of feel like doing is if you guys want to punch me, then you're allowed to drink.
Stan, like, can it really punch you?
Otherwise, don't fucking drink.
Like, can it really punch you?
I don't know.
I don't want to punch you.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
I want to hit you in the face, but you're wearing glasses. That's a really big thing. You're wearing glasses. Like, I don't know if I can hit you. Just punch him. Wearing glasses.
Oh God. You'll feel
Glasses. Look at him. Look at his glasses.
Oh yeah.
Stan! Are you done?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Daniel, everybody, for letting me use this phone. So I kind of want to just stay on that same vein and kind of, I guess, bitch about America, I guess, because that's what we're all doing.
Yeah. Totally fine. You can bitch as much as you want about America.
This one's called Mother America fucking nature or something. Green like a leaf, like a green horn. Green like greed, USD. Spoiled as drinkable wine, a drunken poet. You would think American feces is better than any cow's shit manure. Give it to me. Better yet, let me give it to you. I'm fertile as a McDouble. And a green banana. Sweet Texas tea steaming hot in the compost bin. Sweet as a showy fetish for suicide. Deep as a 5.1 stereo system. $20,000 worth of speaker heads and gold wire. Really brings out the imperfections of music in your home theater. What is luxury anyway, but an orange peel that peels in one tear? I put all of them, the sweet thoughts like pink candy wrappers and Coke Zero, into a pile, and I grow of myself a flower, so meetin' in tribute to the anxieties of Mother Nature. I will make of the freak you have made of me an imperfection so 1080p, a self-hate so broadcast that the American nature will see. What exactly you have made of your invisible parts. I will scream so loudly you will remember the sound and thinking of the sound you made crying alone like the babies you built no bed to lay in. That's right. Oh my God. Yeah. And some videos are still at like 200 something. Like what the hell is that?
It's 100. 140.
Yeah. Should I look at this through my phone?
Like a real phone.
And then this last one is just like, it's called Me and My Friends. Me and my friends were still into guitars and motor nerves, quelling habits, dragging our feet out, for today's more pressing than even the pot of brew we throw so far back down the hatch it's behind us, and hearts go running, and when the chase doesn't catch, we click link after link, open tab after tab, for brilliant strangers who do it like we only learned to do it. Me and my friends were fat grubs and chrysalis. We over the years begin to lean ever more backward into the far seat of a dark theater, dumbstruck, and we cross our fingers and transfigure into photons against the theater screen, and we hit concrete, lit light beams like pins in the pincushion, finally ground like sawdust. Me and my friends, we forget the point. We either learn to love a little better, or we learn to smother a little less. And we got to rampage when the day breaks just to make it to the front door. Me and my friends, we hate the quiet, but don't mind the solitude, writhing away letters and waveforms, whittling sticks to make them sharper than the knife that's doing the sharpening. Me and my friends were full of shit, but what's the difference? Me and my friends, we break like the Big Bang, that's still going, slow as all time. Yay, that's it.
Yeah, no problem. Up next is Caleb!
Take it off.
You better stand.
Take it off! It's topless, baby!
Topless. Why did you go first?
So I promised that I'd do this topless.
Goddamn right.
Yeah! Ladies. But so my drinking game is every time you get turned on by me shirtless. I'm gonna be looking. First poem is called Popcorn.
Yeah, it is.
A tiny hard thing can explode. Brief, salty pleasure and long-lasting purgatory. As the kernel explodes into the deepest catacombs of teeth, it is one of the most debated topics on Earth. As the kernel explodes, somewhere a girl is slapped by her friend's dad. As the kernel explodes, a band full of drunk poets careens into a Starbucks. Each time we destroy one of those cloud-shaped corn balls, the devil or God is beating his wife. We do not actually know if either one ever stops, or if people will just keep eating popcorn. Popcorn tip. Popcorn tip. When I was a Cub Scout in a place called Lolo, Montana, I went door to door selling popcorn. In a patched vest and yellow lanyard, I had a catalog with various species of popped tin-canned corn, caramel and chocolate and cheese. Sometimes my mom came with me. Sometimes I went alone. Walking up to portable homes just like mine, in big sub-country homes, knocking on doors and yelling, "Would you like to buy some popcorn?" My 5-year-old rhetoric revolving around wish fulfillment and what happens after death. Am I transported to Planet Kobo, where I can live as Batman, or hunt monstrous bubbling aliens, where I can throw a kernel on the ground and disappear before the person who opens the door pities my very soul and buys our finest Christmas barrel? Last poem, it's called American Poem. I crumpled up my Twilight Zone poem and began to write this one. This one was going to be an honest party poem. I drunkenly told drunk Connor and drunk Tracy, and they agreed that America is hard to write about. I realized I was behind because I was still writing the Twilight Zone poem. They were on the final poem, the one about America, which as a consumer I felt like someone had already written. Connor slapped his notebook down, satisfied he had finished, like a walrus moaning on the shore. We found Matt sitting in the shed and joined him next to the ladder. A body was hanging from the rafters, an orange tree poking through the ceiling, which could have easily been an apple tree.
And I felt too drunk to be a part of something. Like I had checked out on my friends. Something was wrong with all of us. Thanks. Had to call it a night early.
He got too shit-faced.
We deeply regret it. His name was Connor Bracken.
He was a fallen soldier.
We wanted to perform this
a beautiful
poem for
fallen
him
man.
because he wrote beautiful poems.
He did.
He just
He really
drank
did.
a little
He
too
probably
much
read
this
the best poems of tonight, but he got too shit-faced to read them.
Yeah, he called his girlfriend to pick him up, and when I met him up in the car,
I heard it was his wife.
This is gone from fiance.
He was laying in the back seat with a shirtless, with a grocery store bag in front of his mouth, and he handed me his poem to say thank you. So now we can read them.
And he yelled out,
instead.
and he yelled out, "God save the Alamo."
He didn't, but like it only
Are we all reading one of his?
Okay, these are the poems of Connor Bracken. I get to read the first. Connor is perhaps the best poet as well. God rest his fucking drunken soul.
I hate to see it happen.
Because he's the real
Yeah, I hate to see
McCoy,
it happen.
All right. The first Thanksgiving. The first Thanksgiving was a total failure. The weather was perfect. Like a kid's first curse word bursting whitely in the sky. Out of everyone's adult ears. Everyone takes off their hat. For hours the sea kept yelling, "Sit down," and the wind kept tickling the women's ankles. But they couldn't uncharacteristically
horrible
agree.
handwriting.
He really does.
Like this right now.
But they can't uncharacteristically agree what is abstract, using a form of vote tally, which involves fire juggling to a coughing dog. What to organize the hats into? Monolith was gaining a slight quorum. Teenagers log rolled down amphitheater hills. Birds cried about car payments. Alimony, the furnace like a dream, fading warmly in the nest. The corn piled on the table in a silk-blooded pyramid, each a yellow Betalina? I'm sorry, Kate. Perhaps it is more yellow ballerina. Whatever connotation you have with Valentina, if it is more applicable, apply it here. Silk-blooded pyramid, like a yellow Valentina, ballerina, what have you, of eyes waiting for blindness. It's corn waiting to get eaten. It's beautiful. I'm sorry.
Drinking game for Connor.
Well, okay.
Wait, what was
I forget what his drinking game was, because I'm fucking drunk.
It was just how many times he could stutter and like fall over himself. So I wish he should be drunk for my
Connor's game was however many times that he stumbled on stage, everyone drinks.
Like I did it 8,000 times.
So y'all have to take like 13 drinks for every time he stumbled on stage.
Blocking one of their neighbors, blocking somebody. It's fine.
Alright, fuck it. How about everyone take a drink to Connor?
Yeah.
A brave man. So I have Connor Bracken's next piece. This was his USA poem, the one that I had the client to write.
I've had a drink like 3 or 4 times this week.
Oh, wonderful. This is Connor's USA poem. America is a well-lettered laziness. She ate my understudy. She decided one day hats are better than shoes, and shoes are better than truth. Because, and I want to tell you, he wrote B/C for because. That's excellent. I think that is worthy of note. Because America was always worried. She was treading on truth. Thus the rubber. Thus the thickness. Thus whenever her favorite decided Mount Rushmore is a farce, and that fairness is a strawberry no mayor will eat, she says yes, all caps. America believes in yes. She sees stone and knows a yes is buried inside, and all that's needed is a hammer ready to pound until she says dollar. Connor Bracken, everybody.
Connor Bracken!
True American hero. True American hero.
Best poet of us all.
The best of us.
The only earner of a Purple Heart amongst us.
Amongst us.
Oh, did he ride home with a very sickly stomach?
Oh, did his belly mourn?
Yeah.
Shall we go on and on?
You hate
Of his belly. Yeah, I hate it.
Last Connor Bracken poem.
Yes, here it is.
Last is the
Twilight
final
Zone.
transmission.
Hold on, you're not fucking
This is his
shirtless.
final transmission.
Take it off!
Wait, no, pants this time.
Connor Bracken wanted it. He wanted it. Take it off.
Whatever you want, man. Just read the poem.
Pants, Connor Bracken.
You gotta do it, you gotta do it.
Take the pants off.
No teasing. There we go.
Can't say it.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright. Twilight Zone, quotation marks, 1959.
Please come out too.
Of course, the baby shower turned into a dinosaur tea party. The slight California baseline grew into a spastic, ceaseless happenstance. Of course, my driver's license renewal became a kidney extraction. Me waking up in a bathtub of ice. When America gets pulled over for speeding, the arresting officer becomes the equator. The equator becomes Godzilla. A chess game played with impossible queens. But let's remember, every canoe is a mastodon's jaw. Each baptism, a subtle dreaming. There are guitars that open the mute mouth of bliss. But there are years in which my father grasps his first year. There are years in which the wonderful strangeness is born.
Dude!